What's up, guys? Foggy Train here. Today I want to talk about a game that came out a little while ago. I mean, it's pretty recent, but I've been taking my time with it. I didn't want to rush. Baldur's Gate 3 in the Dungeons and Dragons universe. Some of you may be familiar. It's been like one of the biggest PC launches like ever in recent history, at least. Huge game, absolutely massive. Everybody has been talking about it for the last like month and a half. But a new game came out in early access yesterday, Starfield, so I had to hurry up and get this review done quickly so I can put all my focus into the next game and then hopefully be able to come back to Baldur's Gate at some point whenever I have time. So, first of all, I want to preface this by saying I have not fully completed Baldur's Gate 3. I'm in Act 3. Out of the main 3 villains of the game, I have defeated 2 of them, so I'm assuming I have 1, possibly 2 bosses left, depending. I'm not sure how the ending goes yet. But I think no matter how the game ends, I don't think it's possible for my score to drop below what it's at currently. Or change whatsoever, actually, in any way. First of all, let's get into even just like visuals. It's a stylish game. Like, it looks, I say stylish, I mean it's not like hyper realistic, but it's not like cartoony either. Everything fits together with all the different environments, how things are placed in the world. Everything feels very, very believable and purposeful in the world. The characters feel alive. Everybody has like deep backstories, especially the playable characters, the ones that you find in your party. The amount of dialogue options in this game I have never seen in my entire life. It is actually insane. There were some times that I would save a game, and I'll get back to that later because there's controversy with that, but I would save a game before I made a choice to see kind of how it would play out, just to see exactly kind of where it would go, and if I didn't like it, I would just load back. And then I would pick just one other dialogue option, and I mean the thing would play out completely differently. Like, it's not like in, I guess, Fallout 4, people would say, it's not like a real role-playing thing in too much of a sense, because no matter what, you're gonna get basically the same ending, just with different people, and it's all essentially gonna play out pretty much the same. This game, I mean, at one point I beat the game. Technically, I beat it. Credits rolled before I even actually fought anybody. There's a way to do that, which I'm sure some people will get it. I did it originally. I saved, obviously, before, because I was like, I want to actually beat this game. But I saved, and then I basically, without spoiling anything, just beat the game very, very easily with a single dialogue option. So if you haven't played the game yet, I don't want to spoil anything. This is a game that I think you should go in completely blind. I have never in my life played a turn-based game before. This was my very first one. The combat is the next thing I'll talk about, as much as I can. It takes a while to learn if you're not familiar with turn-based. I'm not sure how people who are familiar with that kind of combat, or Dungeons and Dragons as a whole, I'm not sure how easy it was for them to move into this. For me, I was probably 4 or 5 hours in before it clicked with me. And I still am not fully utilizing everything. I don't know how to utilize alchemy. I'm just maining arrows and cloak of daggers spell, I believe it's called. Oh, like, it's so fun. There's so much variety, so many different elements that you can use in your attacks. There were several fights in this game where I went in and I thought immediately, wow, there's no way I'm beating this right now. I'm gonna have to come back later. And then I die, and then reload my most recent save, go back in, try a different strategy, and win like within 5 minutes. That's one thing also. A lot of these fights will take you probably like 30 minutes plus if you're like really strategizing and stuff. This game takes a while. But it's so fun. All of the combat is so fun. All the dialogue options, the way that you can talk your way out of combat in some scenarios where, I mean, you obviously have to roll the dice, roll for initiative and things like that. Oh man, it made me so into the universe. This is my second interaction with Dungeons and Dragons at all. The only other time I've ever experienced anything from Dungeons and Dragons was the movie, actually, which I'm pretty sure I did a review not too long ago when it came out, and I really loved that movie too. So I was excited for this game. I had rewatched the movie recently, and I was like, man, I think I'm just gonna buy this game because I was on edge because I wasn't sure because it's turn based. Dude, if you haven't played a turn based game yet and you're scared and you're interested in kind of checking out a new genre, this is the one to start with. 100%. I think this is a wonderful way to dip your toes into probably one of the best games I've ever played in my life. Let me think about anything else. The sheer size of this game. I mean, so I read up on it to kind of see like what to expect. In Act 1, that area on its own is huge. It's massive. And there's so much that I didn't do that I really wish I did before I went into Act 2 and then lost access to Act 1 areas. Which that's the one drawback that I think there is in the game is that you can't go back to some areas. I'm not sure if you can after you beat the game, but as of now, where I'm at, I can't go back to any Act 1 areas. Once I got into Act 3, I couldn't go back to any Act 2 areas. So that kind of sucks, but at the same time, it lets you know. You're aware that you're moving into an area and you won't be able to go back. So that's awesome that they let you know. Look, once you do this, you're done. You're moving past everything else. Wow. So the city of Baldur's Gate itself, especially at the end of the game, Act 3, or the start of the end of the game, I guess you could say, Act 3. Wow. It's so massive. There's civilians everywhere. They all have dialogue options. You can't like have full conversations with all of them, but there is a significant amount that you can actually have conversations with. There's the circus, which was so enjoyable to go to and talk to everybody. I pretty much exhausted all the dialogue options there. I try to exhaust as many as I can with the amount of time that I know that I have, which is not much, to play. I mean, I go to work from 8 to 5 during the day. Luckily on Fridays I'm off at 4 now. But I mean, I only have so much time before I have to go to bed at like 8 to 9ish and then go work out and all that. But that's enough about me. If you have time to play this game, if you have time to play any game, you want to make sure that you're playing a good game. And there's very few games that I think of with such high esteem as this. This is a stellar achievement. I mean, like, I can't think of any game that rivals the sheer just quality of the game. Though I will say, in Act 3, which I knew this was coming, I didn't get as much of it, because obviously I've been taking my time with it, so there have been patches that came out already. Patch 1 and 2 came out. Patch 2 addressed some of the issues in Act 3. Patch 1 addressed a lot of them in Act 2 also. I don't know about Act 3 for sure, but moral of the story, by the time I got to Act 3, most of the main issues, as far as I'm aware, were kind of patched out. So the only issue I've had is an armor plate, for a shoulder plate on Shadowheart. Didn't have texture. And then I'm trying to think what else happened. When I first started playing the game before the first patch came out, sometimes dialogue would just completely skip, and it was annoying, but I would still be able to read it. They just wouldn't say it. Other than that, I mean, very minimal. That's about the only issues I've had, like, at all. And anytime you think there's an obstacle that you can't get past, there's a way. Like, you can almost 100% just find some way around it. Like, just cheese your way through the whole game. It's so awesome to have the amount of choice that you have in this game. I've never played a game that gave me that much freedom to do whatever I want. It's phenomenal. Each of the playable characters in the party have the most in-depth stories. They all have this, like, I guess you could say trauma or something, like just very, very deep backstories that seriously affect them negatively, and you kind of can talk to them and learn their past and help them through it. And dude, it's so good. They're so well written. Your character has so many choices. The narrator is just so fun to listen to, explaining everything. That was one of the first things that I noticed when I started the game. How I was like, that's so cool that there's just a narrator that's like explaining everything that's happening, like what your character's thinking and things like that. Um, I could talk about this all day. I'm already at about 11 minutes right now. Um, I mained a warlock. I started playing with my friend Isaiah, and I made, I believe, a sorcerer on that account, and then I made a drow sorcerer. Currently, my main is a half elf warlock. I want to play with him some more, but I'm trying so hard to just finish this game, and then I gotta go to Starfield after. Um, out of 10, man, this is I've never felt more comfortable in my life giving a 10 out of 10 to a game. This game is damn near perfect, if not as perfect as a game can be. I mean, obviously there's few bugs and glitches here and there, but no game has zero. I mean, I can look past that very easily. Actual gameplay, actual story, phenomenal. I can't wait to actually beat the game, and I may come out with most likely I won't. It's hard for me to make time to come out with these videos that I talk about sometimes, but I heard that there people saying that the ending of the game is underwhelming. There's not enough development of like, okay, so what from here? What do the characters even think about the ending and all that? Like your party members, what do they even feel about it? But the Larian Studios, the people who made Baldur's Gate 3, they addressed this, and they actually in patch 2 added, I believe patch 2, added a little bit more to Karlach's ending, which is one of your party members. She's a tiefling. Tiefling? I think she's a tiefling. I believe. I think so. And so they're actually working on extending the ending to give people more satisfying, resolutions for all the characters. So I think that's awesome. Larian Studios seems fantastic. Like, they just seem like such awesome people. One of the biggest things in this game, there are no microtransactions. None. There's no battle pass. They don't even know if they're going to be doing a DLC because they just wanted to release a full packaged game. That's so rare. You don't get that ever anymore. So I can't stop gushing about this game. I talk about it constantly to like everyone. It's just so good. I recommend it 100%. 10 out of 10. Please, if you haven't already, play this game. Try it out at least. Give it 4 to 5 hours if possible, because you might have some trouble with the combat. I did Warlock. Warlock was very, very fun because you can use magic and also use your sword and bow, things like that, and be proficient in like dealing some pretty decent damage still. So that's pretty much all I have to say. I mean, I could talk forever, but this would end up being a 2-hour long video. So I'll stop it right here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a comment and a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell to stay notified. I've been doing some streams for Starfield lately. I did do a lot of streams for Baldur's Gate as well, but I'm gonna do some more Starfield streams tonight and over the weekend through Labor Day, and I look forward to seeing y'all there, and I look forward to making more videos for y'all like this. So thank you so much again, and that's it. See ya.